Welcome back to the Takeout. Sources tell CBS News President Trump has yet to make a decision, which he is mulling seriously, about sending U.S. ground troops into Iran. I'm joined now by Indiana Republican Congressman Marlin Stutzman. Congressman, it's good to have you with us. On this program last night, Ted Cruz, Texas Senator, Republican, said he can imagine a scenario in which boots on the ground are necessary and defensible. Can you?
Well, I'll tell you, Major, I would sure like to see us finish out the air strikes that our military has been performing. I think they've done a remarkable job. And, if anything, we really need to be sure that the Iranian people are ready to help, to take their country back. There's other folks, obviously, in that area that have a deep interest in what happens in Iran. So I don't know. For me, for the information that I know, I would say it's too soon to say that. But I do want to see that at this point that there is a new opportunity for the Iranian people with their country, and also that it'll bring peace and stability to the Middle East and to the region.
When I interviewed the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth for 60 Minutes, I asked him about the possible necessity of using ground forces, special operators or otherwise, to get the highly enriched uranium out of Iran. And he said that remains an option on the table. The president has indicated as much, and those close to him indicate as much. Is that a mission you would support?
Yeah, I think that's really what the mission should be, is to destabilize any of their capability for a nuclear weapon or any sort of nuclear power for that matter. We just can't trust this regime. I would, of course, want to see an opportunity where there is a new government in Iran. But here we are going after the assets and destroying the assets that just simply will weaken the regime if they would somehow be able to maintain any sort of power. But I think our real mission should be to support the Iranian people and do what we have to do to debilitate this regime in order for a new one to surface. So, but if that's a way to do it, taking out opportunities for a nuclear program, their military assets, those are all things I would support.
I asked Senator Cruz this last night because the Israelis are systematically targeting senior Iranian regime figures and killing them. Eliminate is the phrase the Israeli government frequently uses. And I asked Senator Cruz, do you believe it is possible for the Israelis or the United States to kill their way to regime change?
Yeah, I do. I think that's one of the ways that this is kind of like a revolutionary war. This is different than what we've seen in the past. Before we've seen this, this big buildup with troops, with tanks, with trucks, moving into Iraq. It took us so long to finally get to Saddam Hussein. And I think in this case, it's more of a top-down strategy and go straight for the top. Look what happened in Venezuela, just simply by taking, and of course, that mission was, in hindsight, much simpler and easier than what we ever anticipated it to be in Venezuela. But I think that would be the goal here with Iran as well. I think you got the support of the people predominantly, but they're weak. They don't have the ability to defend themselves. So by taking out the top, I think this is a new strategy, one that, to me, makes a lot of sense, rather than spending, a lot of time and money moving into a country with our air superiority and with our technology and able to see what's going on inside. We have this ability to be inside, taking out these leaders that I think will weaken the regime and hopefully cause them to fall, and a new regime or new administration can be put into place.
To what degree, Congressman, are your constituents restive right now? And if restive isn't the proper word, maybe angered or alarmed by the rise in gas prices, which appear only to be increasing because the global price of oil keeps increasing?
Yeah, well, I think, Major, a lot of times we all kind of measure the economy by the gas pump. And we have seen gas prices at all-time lows during the Trump administration compared to what we saw during the Biden administration. Prices are still lower today than what they were during the Biden era. So I think that's one thing that people are considering. Now, if they go much higher, if they get up over $4, $4.25, I think that's when people are going to really start complaining, and me too. So I think as long as we know this is a temporary jump because of the instability in the Middle East. So once President Trump gets control of the Straits of Hormuz and can secure the traffic through there, I think we'll start to see, things settling back down, hopefully within the next month or two. But, obviously there's going to be a jump when there's this sort of attack in Iran, and it's rightly a concern of all of ours.
I appreciate the time. Congressman Marlin Stutzman, Republican, Indiana. Thanks so much.